Today's adventure begins here on Market Street in Celebration, Florida. As the recording of this, TGIF, it is Friday, May 19th, 2023. The streets are being closed off, or evidently will be something happening either tonight or this weekend. The Disney soap opera continues the last couple of years, following the nooks and crannies, behind the scenes, and the announcements of the Disney Corporation and parks. Has been a riveting one, to say the least. Looks like they're set up a bunch of chairs and tables over here. So maybe it's going to be like a... And I wanted to start over here at the fountain, showing Burbank as the crow flies, I believe, 2,197 miles. Maybe a little less than that. If you're flying, well, if you're driving, I should say. So Disney was going... I should probably do my intro first, but I want to start over at Celebration because Burbank is one of the tie-ins between Central Florida and Burbank. Wow, take a look at this Jeep right here. This, this sheriff must be having some affairs in the community. Welcome, everyone. TheDailyWoo here. Behind me, Howard, the duck. Somewhere down in there. Yeah, he's right there. Right over there. Big news, as always, happening in the Disney community. Lots of changes happened to the parks, lots of changes happened to the company, but yesterday, as the recording of this, two massive announcements. Products of the Chapek era, maybe the Iger era. Who knows if Iger had anything to do with what he is now erasing? Probably so, but I don't know all the ins and outs of all that. The Star Wars hotel, the Starcruiser, is going away. They are closing it. What the heck? I just did it 2 weeks ago. It's going away. And over in Burbank, the campus for the Imagineers announced in 2021, and they kind of prolonged it and said it was going to open in 2026 over in Lake Nona. They have scrapped that completely. A multi-million-dollar, dare I say, billion-dollar complex, gone. I'm gonna go check out where that was. I'm inviting you to join me. I'm gonna go find the spot where it was gonna be. Shall you? And not really partial to the two massive subject matters I want to talk about. But I have to wonder, I still wonder why this decoy duck is just sitting there and never moves. My philosophy, it's on a string, but I've also heard it's on a pipe to keep a boater that's in there maybe doing maintenance work on the lake from bumping into it. But I don't think that's true, because notice how Howard the duck here, the decoy duck, is moving, shifting to and fro. If it was on the pipe, that would not be the case. Everyone saw it coming, but I am still kind of a little shocked that the Starcruiser is closing. So much money was invested in that, so much talent with the actors and actresses on site and the cast members who put their all into it. Yes, it's very expensive. It is very overpriced, but for what you get, I could see why they had to have it that price. And it's really bizarre that there's now going to be an empty building sitting next to Hollywood Studios. Will they repurpose it? Will they make it into a DVC hotel? Will they make it into a dinner experience? Or will it just sit empty and be torn down? Will it be destroyed? Just like the Harmonious barges, which is another, multi-million-dollar item that was used for a very short time, and now has been destroyed, erased from existence. They're not even trying to they didn't even repurpose the show. They just got rid of it. I need to get back over to Epcot at some point. I'm not going there today, but I need to get over there at some time and see the unobstructed view across World Showcase Lagoon. Stock prices are down. Disney stock price is low again. I am a shareholder, so that's a little disappointing. But I guess you got to take things off the bottom line. Closing the Starcruiser and not opening a billion-dollar campus. I guess maybe that would help the company a little bit. What do I know? All I know is that I don't know nothing. I follow the Op Ivy philosophy. And while I am very grateful and content and happy the fact that I was able to go on the Halcyon, the Star Wars Hotel, I'm a little disappointed that I'm not going to be able to go again, because now that I had gone the first time, I felt like I had a better understanding of what it was and what I could have gone and done on my second voyage. The very last, wait, I put my sunglasses on. It's bright out here. The very last voyage of the Halcyon, the Star Wars Hotel, will be the last 2 days, I believe, of September of this year. They have paused booking any for like another week or so, because anyone who had a booking after, well, October 1st and beyond from this point of the year, they have to readjust so that they will get kind of first pick on readjusting and having those. So until now, until the end of September, are going to be the last voyages. I would love to go on the last voyage. Just gonna put this out there, I will not be on the last voyage. And dare I say, I probably will not be able, well, I don't say daring, but I will not be able to, most likely will not be able to book another voyage between then and there. I have a very full itinerary coming up of travel plans. I might be able to squeeze one in, but I don't know. I did it once, very pricey. Not sure if I'm gonna do it again, and definitely 100% will not be on the last voyage. I have prior obligations to going to a destination at that particular time frame that I have never been to before, which I'm not gonna postpone or move those plans around, because I'm really looking forward to that as well. But pretty sad about the Starcruiser, mostly because of just how immersive it was, how much the cast members worked so hard, how much the actors and actresses put their all into it. And maybe the space will be utilized in the future for other things. No pun intended, the space, you know, see what happens. It's just quite an unusual coincidence, if that's the right word to even use. Yeah, I guess you could say a coincidence that I was able to go on it, because if I had not gone on it when I did a couple weeks ago, coming up with my future plans that I have coming up over the next couple of months, I don't know if I would have been able to squeeze it in and make it happen. I probably would have, but it worked out way better that I did it ahead of time. And I don't think, I mean, there was no news leaked out that this was going to be happening. It just kind of happened out of nowhere. Both the big, I mean, there's always announcements. There's always something that is kind of trending online and people are talking about. These last two yesterday, big announcements. Current stock price, this is over the last month. In the last month, it has dropped $6.68. So it was at a little over 100 a month ago. It's even dropped even a little before that. Let's see, in the last year to date here. So that's the last year to date. So it's standing pretty strong, but the last month it has dropped 6 points, or $6 in the last month. In the last 5 days, that's what it's done in the last 5 days. But yeah, in the last day, yesterday, it dropped 2. But let's just look at the last month. So yeah, it's dropped quite a bit. See what happens. I bought in at $87 probably, I don't know, 9 or 10, 11 months ago, give or take. So I'm still in the green, if you will, but I mean, it could taper off and drop off even from there. Who knows? And I am no stock expert in any way, but you know, it's always good to kind of hold on to things for the long run. It's almost kind of like a diet. You don't want to weigh yourself every day. You probably don't want to check stocks every day. I am not a stock trader or anything like that. And the reason there's no cars driving up and down here is they have the streets blocked off. I mean, I think I showed that a moment ago, but yeah, this is just from the other angle. So I'm holding on to it for the long haul. A little piping hot caffeinated beverage for the road on a, well, what it kind of seems to be a piping hot day. It is definitely warmer here than it was in NYC when I was up there. New York was cool and crisp. Florida, hot and humid, even for this time of the year. It's a toasty day. Okay, and passing by this, there's going to be some sort of a run. I guess there's a dinner and then there's going to be a run a little bit later. I will not be partaking in the run. This is pretty interesting how right here along Water Street, this water, that's why it's called Water Street, goes directly under the road and then down Market right over there. That always reminds me of Blade Runner. But yeah, the water goes under the street that direction. This was a pre-planned, this guy's gonna run the stop sign. Good job, there's a stop sign right there, buddy. Are they gonna run it too? Why are you honking? Why are you honking, dude? Have the right of way, buddy. This guy's like throwing his arms up. Is that Chapek? I think I had the right of way there. I really do. All right, it is 15 minutes to noon. Maybe I'm in the wrong there, but I don't think I was. Yeah, it's like 14 minutes to noon. That was weird. Again, these are all just kind of opinions and speculation, and just, I'm gonna give a little tour around the Lake Nona spot. I guess anyone can just kind of cruise around through the stop signs at their own accord when the officers are all over here setting up for a run and a meal. It's free game. It's free run here in Celebration, the main streets of Celebration. And where I'm heading over to the Lake Nona campus, curious to see what's going to be there when I get there. 20 miles from Celebration, give or take. Just like that, Lake Nona Boulevard, a mile ahead. Almost there. And I believe right over there in that empty lot was where it was going to be. I'm going to pull over, get a better view of it. Somewhere over in there. I'll get a little more technical when I get closer. All right, I parked my car over here on this little driveway that leads into a construction site, except there's no construction happening here. Got some office buildings, some hotels. There's like a golf driving range over there, hospital possibly over that way. Now this, from what I was kind of seeing on the interwebs, was not going to be part of it. So this is not what they had already started on. That would not be a Disney ice machine. However, across this road was where the complex was going to be, with this little bend in the road here. So it turns this way and goes up that way, and I'll kind of match up some stuff I found. I combined two different images. The one up here, the blue dot is where I'm standing on satellite view, and this is the images of where what originally was going to be the Disney Regional Campus, the Imagineers were going to move over. 2,000 new jobs were going to be placed here. So this is me currently, and just kind of meshed it in with something I found as far as where it was going to be. But you can see the bend in the road, which means right over here. Doesn't look like they really started on too much. Again, this originally was going to be back in 2001. You know, there's the events that kind of took place in 2000, 2001. Took a while for the world to get back on track. There are some survey markers here as well. These will probably be taken down. Orlando International, you can see some of the planes taken off. So this whole massive area here, tons of acres that Disney purchased, and I guess they would probably still own the land, or maybe sell the land off, or maybe utilize it for something else. I mean, a lot of that is going to be speculation and whatnot as time goes on. There's actually something going on out there as well. Got some survey markers out there also. All those would be pulled down. Here's the concept art of what it was going to look like. So also the interesting thing is a lot of the Disney cast members and associates and Imagineers have already moved over here in their plans for they've already relocated. Now I would imagine that the company would help them out with that. At least I would hope so. Also survey markers for getting them back over to Southern California. And I really, honestly, I'm kind of on the fence with how I feel about, you know, them building this complex, not necessarily building the complex, but Imagineering moving over here. I kind of liked it in Burbank. I don't know the reasoning behind why they wanted to have it out in Florida. Maybe it'd be closer to WDW and the Florida type of stuff. And there's a lot of opinions being thrown around on why they scrapped this whole deal. And I don't really know. No one really knows. We don't know the behind the scenes of all of it, especially someone of my mental caliber. I don't really know what's going on in that whole world. But I do know it's not going to happen. All I can know is state the facts. I've been to the studios in Burbank, and I've been to little off-site areas away from the studios where a lot of the Imagineers work and whatnot. Would have been cool to have them in my own backyard. And obviously 2,000 people moving here. Florida is the most rapidly growing state, I believe, out of the 50 states, or at least in the continental. There are more people moving here on a daily basis, I believe, from what I was reading, what I've been told, than any of the other states. It is just by leaps and bounds growing. So even without the 2,000 cast members moving here, it's not going to stop the growth of Central Florida at all. Celebration was a Disney planned and Disney created community. Not that Lake Nona is, but kind of a correlation as well. Disney no longer has their hands in any affiliation. I believe they do have some offices, and the cruise ship offices are based out of Celebration. But other than that, you know, Disney has kind of cut ties with Celebration, and they are their own HOA unit, you know, town, city, whatever you want to call it. And they kind of keep up with how Disney wanted it to be run. That's why it really kind of looks pretty pristine and manicured and things. I think a lot of that kind of went over. Also very curious, so there was going to be an affordable housing complex, massive area that Disney also had talked about, with the scrapping of the Starcruiser and with the scrapping of this. Will that be the next thing on the chopping block? Quite possibly. It would not be surprising or shocking if Iger gets rid of that and tomorrow gets rid of that as well. Well, it'd be Iger because tomorrow was over this, more or less. Well, Iger is above him. Chapek era decisions. And again, some people say that, you know, Iger and Chapek kind of the same unit in a lot of ways. So who knows what really made any decision. If there's a scapegoat in that situation, if there's the blame's placed on someone it shouldn't be placed on, I don't know. And honestly, I don't really care, but it's just kind of fascinating, the soap opera that is the Disney rumors, speculations in the last couple of years. And this is a big one. I really enjoy documenting this kind of stuff. Obviously, if this would have gone forward, I would have showed up here every, you know, half a year or so and showed the progress of the building and the construction and all that from afar. It's just fascinating to me to document for posterity, if you will, how things progress, how things get removed. Sometimes things go forward, and sometimes, obviously like this, things go backwards or just come to a complete halt. And this probably would have been one of the main construction entrances. Again, you see all the survey markers here. No clue what any of that stands for, the numbers on it. It says 4x4, number 32784. Cows way out there. Well, way out there. Maybe the farmland is a different area. So this one now just sit empty. Disney not making their move to Lake Nona. Oh yeah, it says right here, keep gate closed. Cows in area. Going right over my head. Hello, plane. I don't think it can hear me. Wow, I can. Oh, I just saw it go over. I almost had a Wayne's World moment where the plane's going over top of the head. All right, that's it. Not much to see. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Nothing will be seen here. Scrapped. Erased from existence. I guess you can see the writing on the wall with a lot of stuff, not only the Starcruiser. Very overpriced. Granted, an amazing experience, but it's, you know, most people would probably never go there, and I figure a good percentage of those that really wanted to go probably went. There are some that probably didn't make it, but all in all, I don't see how that game plan could have been something they would have kept up at that price point. Maybe they have something else in mind. It's a possibility, but you can also see if this was going to open in 2025, they probably would have broke a little more ground on this. So you can probably see the writing on the wall with this as well. But it's been confirmed. This is not a rumor. Disney is not moving to this spot here in Lake Nona. Done. And while I was sitting here, someone came to check up on me, said, You're not supposed to be parked here. This is an active driveway. I said active driveway. Maybe it was an active driveway, but I said I'm leaving. I was just trying to get some photos and video. It said this is active. Nonetheless. Sorry, Lake Nona, Central Florida. No Disney Imagineering for you. No soup for you. And I'm sure this area will be a bustling thoroughfare down this road as time goes on. Someone else will probably, and who knows, maybe even Disney. Probably, I mean, obviously they bought the land. Maybe they just won't make it what it is, but maybe they'll utilize and build something there in the future. Who knows? Or they'll sell the land off. Yeah, check this out too. Right over here is another entry point in. Almost looks like it was built to go into something. And this is also would have been another access point onto the property. Looking at it from another angle, there's a little birdie up there on that Lake Nona pylon. It just flew off. That was Iger and Tomorrow. They were channeling that bird and they're like, nope, going back to the West Coast. That's probably where that plane's going too. West Coast bound. Oh man, fascinating stuff. All this is just so fascinating. And for posterity, there it is. Probably be the only time I ever come out here. No real reason to now. I will not be visiting any of the future Imagineers who be working here, because they will not be here, nor will the complex, the Disney complex, multi-million, if not billion-dollar complex that was going to be here. It's going to go back into the pockets of the Disney Corporation, which, I mean, is probably a good thing, honestly. Because sometimes you got to trim the fat. That's what people have referred to this situation. Trimming the fat. Not sure if I love Iger as the head honcho. I definitely don't dislike him, but I like him a lot more than Chapek. Yeah, I think most people probably side with me on that one. Not that my opinion matters. What the heck is going on? There's another one. That'd be a good one, right? You can tell from that what this video would be about. One of those will work. One of those. Oh, there's another Lake Nona entrance exit sign over there. I'm not sure if Lake Nona's proper that way or proper that way, because both sides of this are the same. This whole area refers to Lake Nona. Look, more survey markers down here. Sidewalk might have been going to be widened. You have the inside info, Bird? Really? All right, that's a topic for another day. That is quite the scoop there, bird. You're just chirping from the cheap seats. All the info. Anything else? You gotta be kidding me. Can you go into a little more detail on that? Can you preface that in layman's terms? Guess, yeah, what? Wait, what? Yeah? All right. Juicy! Spilling the tea. You don't say, bird, you don't say. But just to preface, Starcruiser closing the end of September, gone, and the huge complex here not happening at Lake Nona. That's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over. Bonus footage. Look at this car. All right, figured out what this was. It's a run. It's called a torch run. I wanted to show all this. Looks like all these motorcycles are going to take off momentarily.